Alameda is in trouble. CZ and SBF are in a feud. What does this mean for BNB and FTT? We'll be looking and unpacking the latest going-ons. Google Cloud is running a Solana Validator, blockchain node engine to support Solana chain next year. Polygon witnesses sharp drop in supply as MATIC disappears from exchanges. OpenSea breaks silence on NFT royalties, but creators don't like what they're hearing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Assets of Value podcast. Today, on November the 7th, and every day, we connect to give an industry's insider perspective on crypto, Web3, and NFT topics. We're the founders of Assets of Value, a Web3 research organization. Our podcast is not to be taken as legal advice or financial advice. Abe, hope you had a great weekend. Let's dive straight into it. How's the market looking today on a Monday?
As it's a Monday, the market is taking a beating from the bears. Bitcoin yesterday was going around 21.3k region, and currently it's trading well below 21k region and 20.7k region. But this is not the picture, right? The news, the talk, and everything is revolving around FTX and around Alameda research right now.
What's going on? What is going on? That is something is brewing, and that is across all of crypto Twitter at the moment. Is there a fallout between CZ and SBF, or is there something deeper than that?
I think it's pretty deeper than that because ZC has nothing to do with the Alameda research and its actions, but it's more about how Alameda conducted themselves in recent months. So, according to some blockchain researchers, Alameda is having an illiquidity problem. That means their assets are not liquid at the moment and will not be liquid for the short term. So we can maybe bring Alameda to a situation like Voyager, a situation like 3AC, like that. So it's a tough call, but I think the market has a lot going on, and we will need to discuss this further because this is getting hot, and we have seen some certain exchanges between ZZ and SBF. As I respect them both, huge respects goes to them, but it was making the maximum out of the situation for their own exchanges and their own projects. So we'll discuss, and it all points to one question: how decentralization is undervalued and how centralization is perhaps the key to some of the issues we are seeing in crypto right now.
We'll unpack this in a second. So looking at the market, today is a red day across the board. Solana is down 11.4%, Kava 5.2, Phantom 6.9, Ton 8.6. I'm trying to look for FTT. That's only down 3.1% for the day. And where is BNB? That's down 5.3%. So a red day across the board. This probably is in line with macro events. So yeah, the day's not looking good. The day's not looking good in terms of price action. But if we kind of zoom out from looking at a week's perspective, then most certainly Arweave is the biggest gainer at 35.4% or thereabouts. Matic is up 30%. Litecoin, where's that come from? That's up 26%, and Algo 20.4% with the World Cup fast approaching. And you began to touch on exchanges. OKB is up 27.6%. FTT has taken a bit of a battering, down minus 14.7%. So from a price action perspective, if we look on a week gain, yes, it's still very much positive, but the way that the market's kicking off today on a Monday, it seems like it's a red across the board. By the time the podcast is played out and gone to air, maybe the American markets and pre-markets will change this sentiment. But so far, it's been a slow start to the week. But yeah, let's kind of get under this hood. We've seen this before, where we've seen two prominent figures where go toe to toe, whether that's on a talk show or whether that's on crypto Twitter or whether that's at a conference. CZ's again at the front of it, feuding with SBF. So should we be worried about the FTT token? Fundamentally, nothing changes, right?
Fundamentally, nothing changes, that's correct. But I think FTT is in a lot of trouble as it has close links with Alameda, and the founder of Alameda is the same as the founder of FTT or FTX exchange. And this comes in a certain time where FTX had started imparting its dominance in the US region. Even though Coinbase has reported a positive profit in the Q3, I think FTX is still getting the momentum it deserves. But with this changes everything. The market is extremely bearish in case of FTT. The token, even though it has nothing changed fundamentally, low lacks trust with the investors and lacks momentum. I mean, there's momentum, but that's to the downside. And we have seen CZ pretty much openly saying that we do not want the Luna situation to reoccur. I think that's a bold statement. It has two after effects. One, CZ is openly telling that we will keep our customers protected from any sort of rug pulls, any sort of scams, and any sort of the 90% downward movements. That's a strong statement. Secondly, he is directly attacking its biggest competitor, FTX, and that too in a certain fashion. Because I think CZ has openly told the world that he or the Binance exchange has almost 3 billion in FTT tokens. They will liquidate FTT, not now. They will wait for 3 months. They will be selling their FTT holdings over these 3 months.
Okay, so not all of the. So let me just kind of paraphrase. So CZ is holding quite a number of FTT, which is the ticker sign of the FTX crypto exchange, which Sam Bankman-Fried is kind of the head figure there. CZ being the head figure at Binance, holding a lot of liquidity within the FTT token, has come out and said that his share of the FTT tokens that he's holding and releasing that onto the open market, which, because it's a sizable amount, that could have an effect on FTT from a token price perspective. Significant, and he's not going to dump it all now, but it's going to be phased. So then I think what you're alluding to is that we can definitely see continued downward price movement. Isn't CZ just being painting himself as a good Samaritan? He seems to have won the war with Doke One, and now he's finds himself in a feud with SBF, and it just seems that CZ is coming out on top. Is he really a good Samaritan, or has he found weaknesses in his kind of enemies or competitors?
I would say he's a good businessman because he has found the opportunity. And trust me, if any players in the crypto space would have just told that they are selling all the FTT now and create a big FUD and forces the market to sell all the FTT, forces the shorters, the traders to short all FTT, and it will be a bloodbath for FTT, but just for one day. Because the next day, SBF is going to come up with some remedy and he'll try to get things back again, right? So this is how you can understand CZ's brilliance. He told he'll liquidate over 3 months. That means he will be selling on a daily basis, and there's nothing SBF can do to stop him. So the founder of Alameda just responded rather quickly. I would say it's a knee-jerk reaction, but still. She said that she will buy every FTT from ZZ at the rate of $22 per FTT. Like all of it. I mean, this is a direct challenge to CZ's dominance, ZZ's prominence, and CZ's influence of the space. Because, as the doc once said, her liquidity is not CZ's liquidity. CZ has infinite liquidity in the crypto space. People might not understand this, but he has the biggest exchange in the crypto space that's holding the biggest volume. That's unseen in the crypto space. Not even in the bull market, we have seen such amount of volume if you consider the perpetual markets. So this is a direct competition, and look how smart CZ is playing the game. He's trying to eliminate competition, and that too acting as a good Samaritan. But we both know that he's not a good Samaritan, but he's a good businessman. And I think maybe I'll happily hold my Binance coin BNB for even more longer term, because I think this guy is onto something. I think this guy is going to take over the centralized exchange space within the next 2 years.
We could go on and on. We can go on, and then also represent Sam's case in this to see where he's fallen short on, what he could have done differently, or how he could come back on the back of this. Time is limited, and maybe we can chuck a few bullet points on our Twitter account. So if you're not following us, do follow us there. The link will be in the description below the podcast. We still got a couple of things that we must cover. Google Cloud is running a Solana validator. this is bullish, right? Solana people had written off to say that it was nothing more than an Ethereum competitor, but the fact that Google's now getting involved, and this is getting involved in a big way. At the moment, it's just a Solana validator, but it opens up the doorway for big query and big query capability, which Google is the pioneer in that space. What's your take on this?
Interesting indeed, because we know Google is the hegemon, Google is a monopoly, and when they are openly welcoming crypto, like if I remember correctly, Google has also told that they'll open a Polygon validator, but that's for another day. And I think Google is on the right track because Solana and Polygon are two of the hottest coins in the space right now. And when Google entering the crypto technology, and when Google is entering the blockchain technology, when they enter as a validator, when they choose two projects, that means these two projects have the highest upside potential in the large cap region. So definitely a good move from Google. Definitely good for Solana. I think Solana is trading around $30 right now. Quite a steal, I would say. Quite a steal. Non-financial advice, everyone. So I believe that Solana is a 10x coin, non-financial advice, because it has every potential price movements and price actions that's ready from institutional investors and other crypto players.
It's an interesting point that you mentioned that Google also had a partnership with Polygon. Now, Google being Google, they could actually potentially partner with everybody. So it's a good point. Yes, it's positive right now for Solana. Moving on, Polygon is witnessing a sharp drop in supply as MATIC is disappearing from exchanges. This is a bullish sign. Anytime a crypto coin is coming off the exchanges, that means that people are hodling this for the long term. And MATIC being closely related to Ethereum, it being a layer 2, this is a bullish moment. What's your thoughts on this?
Indeed, I agree. I think this is a really good moment for Polygon. It has everything it needs to succeed, and it has the support of Ethereum developer community also, which is not to be undermined in any given market.
Let's keep a close eye. It's definitely one that we're quite bullish on for the long term. And now I'm just finishing off. Quite big news in the NFT space where OpenSea is breaking silence on NFT royalties. They've come out and coining their own kind of thoughts is OpenSea have shared what they call a thoughtful and principled approach to NFT royalties. In essence, what they've done is they rolled out a system that would let creators of new projects blacklist certain marketplaces that do not require traders to pay royalties. That's interesting because Magic Eden have taken an approach that they are going zero royalties, and they are letting the user decide when they're buying an NFT if the user or the collector wants to pay that royalty onto the actual creators of that collection.
OpenSea breaks silence on NFT royalties, but creators don't like what they hear. So, OpenSea shared what it called a thoughtful, principled approach to NFT royalties. So, they are proposing a rollout system that would let creators of new projects blacklist certain marketplaces, those don't offer royalties, and those don't compulsorily manage royalties. So, it is set to take place tomorrow on November 8th, and really interesting because the NFT space has been in a mess right now, because NFT space has been in trouble because there was some discontent from creators, and all these creators want royalties always. So a certain news, a bullish news for NFT creators, and a neutral news for NFT holders, because they're not paying much, they are just paying 1% extra, which is negligible when you compare the Ethereum transaction fee. And that's it for today.
Okay, because it cut it out for me, but never mind. Okay. And on that note, I think it's a wrap for today. It's been super fun as always. I'm glad you were able to jam with us today. That's it. Until next time, thank you, everybody, and we're signing off.